There was an exceptional baseball team here in Watertown in 1937. There were 3 exceptional pitchers on that team. One of them, our nominee, George Sexton, class of 1937. George Sexton was joined on that team by Lefty McHugh and Ray Chamberlain. What a marvelous season they had. He was a spectacular athlete. He played tennis, he played hockey, he played basketball, he played soccer, where he served as captain and the leading scorer in the Middlesex League, where the Red Raiders went on to win the Mystic Valley League title. But it was as a baseball player that George Sexton was extraordinary. The Raiders won back-to-back Mystic Valley championships with a combined regular season record of 27-2. And the 1937 squad was undefeated before losing a 14-inning semifinal epic to Eastern Mass champion Lynn English. 3 players from that starting 9 were named All-Scholastics. 2 are already in this Hall of Fame, Lefty Lavrakis and Oscar Kadarian. And 2 other players on that All-Scholastic 9 were Eddie Wakus, longtime Philadelphia Philly first baseman, and the great Jim Hegan from Lynn. George Sexton was arguably the best of them all. He was 8-0 in 1937 with an earned run average of 1.03, and that's just 9 earned runs on 27 hits over 78+ innings. In that time, he struck out 132, or more than 15 per game. Over his entire career at Watertown High School, he ran up a record of 15-0 with a 2.59 earned run average. He was chosen both as a pitcher and as a captain of the 1937 All-Scholastic team. He fanned 24 in 17 innings in the state tournament. He was certainly the dominant pitcher of the 1937 season, and his totals are extraordinary. George went on to Dartmouth College and was killed tragically in an accident in a Coca-Cola plant that he owned, dying at a very young age. But he has not been forgotten by his hometown. The Watertown Hall of Fame inducts George Sexton, class of 1937, to be accepted by the great Oscar Kadarian. Oh, George Akowski. Equally great.
That's the Northeastern fight song, in case anyone's trying to figure it out.
What a thrill for an old coach to come back to these Hall of Fame dinners and see so many, well, I call them kids, but they're now, they're almost as old as I am. 63 years ago, I was a 9th grade baseball player at the West Junior High School. And they called practice off that day for what, I don't know what reason. And we all came down to watch Watertown High School play a baseball game. Well, it was almost like going to Fenway Park to see the Red Sox. I walked down there and saw Oscar Kadarian, Lefty Lavrakis catching, and a kid on the mound throwing the ball, I'm sure as hard as Pedro Martinez. 10 years later, I was playing professional baseball, and a fellow joined our team named George Sexton. And by golly, if it wasn't the same George that was my idol in those days. And George turned out to be as great then as he was 10 years ago. He had a blazing fastball and a ton of courage. I want to congratulate the Hall of Fame committee for inducting George. For anybody deserved a Hall of Fame status, it's George Sexton.